This is Hoodies. Testing 1 2 1 2. One, two, 1 2. Word. Alright, we ain't got a whole lot of time, so let's go ahead and get into this, man. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yo, welcome back to another dope session of Footies the Podcast. I'm the host, the guard Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Maybe not so live, but we coming at you, man. Yo, let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Word. Real quick, right? Before we get into this thing, man, I want everybody who's watching this right now and whoever may be in the next room, take a moment and think about just one thing that you're grateful for. Ain't got to be deep. Just the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't matter how big, how small. It's one thing that you're grateful for. And I want you to take a moment and just say, either to yourself or out loud, I'm grateful. Hold on. Hold that. I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy we rocking with today. Some energy of gratefulness. Because I'm telling you, somebody's got it a whole lot worse than you, fam. For real. Way worse than you. Way worse. You know what I'm saying? And because yours ain't as bad as somebody else's, be grateful. Be grateful for where you at. Be grateful for what you got. Be grateful for who you are. It could be worse. It could be worse. You know what I'm saying? Let's be grateful. Dead ass. That's what we're moving with real quick. Just want to set the tone. So real quick, now that we're getting into this, my heart goes out to anybody who's lost a loved one recently. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe this is the anniversary of when they've recently passed, or maybe it's coming up, or maybe it's fresh. I don't know. Only you know that. My heart goes out to you, man. My condolences. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for your loss, you and your family. Dead ass. Just the same, I want to wish everybody, armpit itching, I want to wish everybody with a born day today, whether you fresh out the womb or you've been here a while, everybody with a born day, a happy born day. I salute you. New life, more life. You know what I'm saying? Rejoice, man. You know what I mean? Have a great day. It's your born day today, man. Word. That's worth celebrating. Dead ass. I would also, in this intro, like to thank everybody who sent out some warm energy and some prayers to the Skill Youth Chess Club's volunteer brother Ozell, who is now out of ICU and is in fact home. You know what I'm saying? So word, grateful for that. Grateful brother Ozell is good. I think the only thing right now is, getting him some physical therapy, things like that. But he's a far cry from where he was health-wise. So welcome back, brother Ozell. Welcome back from whence you came. That health struggle right there. We're glad you back. Take your time, and we're here for you. But we're glad you're still here, brother. Word up. Salute to brother Ozell. So real quick, I think last episode, I talked about May 19th being Malcolm X Day, right? Well, May 28th is, Sister Betty Shabazz Day. Now, listen, man, I admit I don't know a whole lot about Sister Betty Shabazz, the late Sister Dr. Betty Shabazz, like I do Brother Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? So real quick, a little something on Sister Dr. Betty Shabazz, right? So according to Rickford, I'm not necessarily sure who Rickford is. Maybe y'all know. This is a citation right here. Some sources indicate May 28th, 1936, being the born day of Sister Betty. Anyway, some sources indicate that May 28th, 1936, according to Perry, 1934 is the year shown on Betty's driver's license, Betty Shabazz's driver's license application and nursing license. But 1936 is shown on her marriage license and voting registration application. Right? According to Rickford, Shabazz's birth certificate has not been located. So no one knows if Sister Betty was born. Well, we know the day and the month, May 28th, but not the exact year. You know what I'm saying? 1936 or 1934. She transitioned June 23rd, 1997, and she was either 61 or 63. We don't know because we don't necessarily know the age. So a little bit more on Sister Betty. Okay. She was a mother, a scholar, a healer, a revolutionary woman. Born Betty Dean Sanders. I was about to say Saunders, but I'm thinking Saunders will have a U in there. So let's go with Sanders. Anyway, born Betty Dean Sanders. She was raised in Detroit, became a nurse, and later met Malcolm X while volunteering with the Nation of Islam in the field of health and hygiene. After his assassination, she raised her 6 daughters on her own, grieving in public while mothering in private. Dr. Betty Shabazz did not let tragedy define her. She earned her PhD in education administration and went on to become a university professor and a fierce advocate for human rights and women's empowerment. Through her strength, the Shabazz Center was born, a sacred place that honors the legacy of Malcolm X and provides space for community, healing, and education. Today, well, May 28th, we don't just remember her, we thank her. She turned unimaginable pain into purpose and built something lasting. The Shabazz Center exists because of her vision, resilience, and love. Happy Born Day to Dr. Shabazz. Your light continues to lead us. That's a post from the Betty Shabazz Center on IG. But yeah, shout out to the legacy, you know what I'm saying, of Sister Dr. Betty Shabazz. We talk so much about Brother Minister Malcolm, that we don't necessarily talk a whole lot about Sister Betty.
Malcolm X was a fermenter of violence. He taught hate. Can you, sitting there today, remember any act of violence that Malcolm X was part of? Can you? No, you cannot. We need to have more respect.
Happy belated Betty Shabazz Day. And real quick before we finish the intro, how's everybody doing, man? How's everybody? Everybody good? Everybody cool? If you're not good, if you're not cool, get good, get cool. Because what other choice you got? You know what I'm saying? What are the choices here? It's either make it or make it. And we're going to make it. Stay grateful, stay positive. We're going to make it. I think we've dilly-dallied long enough with the intro. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. I'm interested to see where this goes myself. You know what I'm saying? So let's go, man. Yeah! So, once again, scrolling through, found a little inspiration. So I might get flagged for this right here. Not sure. Hope not. But it is what it is. So I'm going to put this clip up here, and then we'll go ahead and breathe life into it. All right? Let's go.
As long as your body is healthy, you have thousands of problems. Yeah, but in the moment your body gets sick, you have one problem.
That's really true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's why I mean, first of all, before like tackling everything, yeah, so how to build up your life and how to whatever do, make sure your body stays healthy. If the body is not healthy, you don't need to worry about anything else. So respect, take care, and love your body. Nourish your body, nourish yourself in such a way that you understand it's something right now very, very precious to have.
Word. Facts. Facts. Facts, facts, and more facts. When the body is healthy, we already know when our bodies is, you know what I mean, is healthy and we're in the favorable conditions, you got 1,001 problems. You give a damn about things that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We give credence to things that don't deserve to be given credence to. All kinds of crazy things, yeah? You know what I'm saying? But when the body is not healthy, you only got one worry, one problem, and that's to fix the body, right? Big facts. And not like y'all needed me to tell you that either. You know what I'm saying? However, since we're talking about the body, the human body, eating good and all that stuff is wonderful. Exercise, making sure you stretch, but oftentimes we forget when we talk about the body, oftentimes we forget that the brain, the mind, is also a part of the human body, right? So while diet, like eating decent, eating clean, for lack of a better term, eating clean is best for the human body, along with exercise. Okay, so it's also, I've said this before, what we think. It's no news flash, but it's also what we think. Okay, so without the mind, like I said, the brain is also a part of the human body. In fact, it's the most complex organ of the human body. You know what I'm saying? So while the physical, sure, is important, it's good to do them push-ups and it's good. It's good to, but without the mind, where does the discipline come from to maintain clean diet and working out and stretching? You know what I'm saying? How about a sound mind? Without a sound mind, how does any of that happen? It doesn't. Without a sound mind, doesn't matter how healthy the body is. It really ain't, because you'll make unhealthy decisions. We would care not about what we ate, the company we kept, the energy we put ourselves around. We wouldn't even care about energy because the mind ain't sound. If you're a man, you be pushing up in every fucking thing. Raw dog. If you're a woman, you'll be letting everything push up in you. When folk are not of, listen, none of us arrived here. We ain't always been of sound mind. If you got a sound mind, you haven't always been of it. And just because you got a sound mind doesn't necessarily mean that you don't fall off your square or veer off your square. But when you are not of sound mind, if you're a woman, you will allow a dude inside you, no contraceptive or nothing, and you hardly even know him, and fuck around and get pregnant. And if you're a man, that's crazy too, because you don't know that woman. I've done some stupid shit. I'm just saying that to say that's an example of when folk are not of sound mind. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen people banging body because they work out, taking care of the body? Notice how they dumb as doorknobs? Notice how they ain't so bright? The body's good, but the mind ain't? That's the part a lot of people forget. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, this is going into the realm of healing and doing the inner work. Because, man, the mind is also a part of the body. The brain is also a part of the body. There is no discipline to be better. There isn't the mind to be better. There isn't the mind to do shadow work like we talked about in the last episode. You know what I mean? The mind, you ain't gonna think I got some things going on with me, right? I got things going on. I got issues. I got trauma. And by the way, the last episode, I didn't speak much about how to, because, sometimes we've buried things so deep. We've denied things for so long. It'll almost seem like it's not even there until, of course, something triggers it, right? So what I didn't mention was ways that I found useful in terms of identifying the shadow, the shadows of ourselves, if that makes any sense. A good way is journaling. Of course, I do mine from my phone. There's an app. Go to your app store. There's a journaling app. Trust me, there's a journaling app. Every day it gives me an alert around 8 o'clock. Boom, 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 boom. And I work through things. Whether I'm on my square or not. I express that. I journal where I'm at. Here and in here. I journal all that. Another great way is meditation. And if you don't meditate, I strongly encourage you to at least give it a try. Give it 3 minutes. Give it a try. Introduce yourself to yourself. That's a great way. And then, listen, if you introduce yourself to yourself, you'll see yourself. That make any sense? If you know, you know. Tap in. Just give it a good 3 minutes and tap in. I'm telling you, man. It's a great way to do shadow work. But I get it. A lot of people don't want to dig deep and do shadow work because it sucks. That shit sucks. Sharpening the mind, that part of the body, it sucks. You gotta look at the uncomfortable parts of yourself. The parts that you're ashamed of. The parts you swore wasn't there. You know? You gotta think long and hard. Why how is it, sometimes we can be on our square and somebody will just simply say something and that shit'll throw us off. Why? People do it all the time, get all kinds of wonderful comments, this, that, and the third. And as soon as somebody says something that's critical, like critical in a way that's not so flattering, off the square we go. You know what I'm saying? That's something worth looking into. And I'm talking about meditating and journaling and, of course, therapy. I'm talking about those things because remember last episode I was saying the goal is to integrate those things in our shadow into our everyday life so that we could be our full and complete selves. Those are great ways to do it. Meditation and journaling. The journey's ugly. It's real ugly. Almost like working out. You know what I mean? If we're talking about taking care of the body and keeping the body healthy, that can be ugly too, depending on where you start from. It can be ugly. Doing that inner work, it's fucking ugly, man. Looking at the dark parts of yourself, that shadow self, that shit ugly as fuck. It's ugly. Uncomfortable. But the mind, also a part of the human body. You know what I'm saying? So while everything that brother said is dead ass, is dead on, spot on. Because once again, when the body's healthy, you got 1,001 things on your mind, 1,001 problems, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Making stupid people famous, all kinds of crazy shit. But when the body's not healthy, you got one motherfucking problem. And that's to take care of the body. Just don't forget the mind. Without the mind leads, that's the nucleus. The mind leads the body. You know what I mean? Once again, your shadow could be that constant need for validation. It could be that people pleasing. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that shit just to be accepted. Just to be accepted. Giving up everything just so you can be accepted. And then you still won't get accepted. Self-sabotage. Anger issues. All kinds of shit. Take care of the mind. Do the shadow work. Go in there and figure out what the trigger is. Bring it to the surface and integrate it. Channel the anger. The most complex organ, but yet the one people forget about. People rather pop a pill. Smoke a little bit of weed, drink. We deal with addictions of all kinds. You know, we're attention whores. It's a bunch of insecure shit that's in the shadows. Don't forget the mind. Hell yeah, go running. Hell yeah, watch the diet. Hell yeah, watch the company you keep. Hell yeah, don't forget the mind. Word. So word. So shout out to Oklahoma City Thunder for making the finals. I had a feeling that it would go that way. Once again, shout out to SGA for making MVP. Word, man. I don't think this squad, well, not this squad, but I don't think that team, rather, has been to the finals since Durant, Harden, Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, and all them dudes was in the OKC. So that's a good look, man. The whole, last four teams were all young teams. You know what I'm saying? And look, just because Anthony Edwards didn't make it past, didn't make it to the finals, doesn't necessarily mean that he's not a good. It doesn't mean that he doesn't make his teammates better. Sometimes it just happens like that, man. He just came across a much better team. When a team's got your number, they got your number, man. It just is what it is. OKC was just better than the Timberwolves. You know what I'm saying? And look, some folk had some things to say about Anthony Edwards' post-game interview. When he says that, I don't know why people keep saying hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm 23. I'll have a chance to come back and do this, more times, which is true. He says if he felt some type of way, he felt bad for his teammate Mike Conley. You know what I mean? Mike Conley ain't no spring chicken. Maybe he wanted to make it to the finals for him. Maybe he's close to his last dance in the league. I don't know. And see, listen. Some folk were saying, well, if I'm a fan, I don't want to hear that, See, everybody wants folk to have these Jordan, Kobe-like post-game interviews after they lose a series, But what I got wind of with Anthony Edwards is that I think the young man has lost his mom's and his grandmother. I want to say within months of each other. So look, when you look at it like that, you expect him to be hurt because he got eliminated from the playoffs? Hurt to him is something different. This ain't shit in comparison to some other shit that I've lost in life. That's a real loss in life, my nigga. This right here, come on, man. Up until this loss, people were saying that I'm close to being the face of the league. And once again, I think when players don't give the traditional soundbite, the traditional Kobe response, the traditional Michael Jordan response, then folk feel some type of way. That particularly the basketball purists, which are for the most, and when I call them basketball purists, because that's just my nice and poetic way of saying it's you motherfuckers that stuck in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just stuck, fam. There's a new breed here. And see, these basketball purists, they don't like nobody. They don't like nothing. They don't like the New Jerseys. They don't like the different floors, like the different, on the court. Each team I have a different floor sometime. Now, granted, them in-season tournament floors be kind of bright. They be real bright, like a real bright red or a bright-ass green. So if they could come up with some better colorways with that, but see, some of these basketball purists don't like nothing. They don't like no female refs in the league. They don't like nothing. If you don't sound like Kobe or Jordan, mostly Jordan, if you don't say what he says or move the way he moves or conduct yourself the way he does, the purists got a fucking problem with that. And about that, hold on. About the late, great, not the late, great, because he's still around. About the great Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Check this out. This is according to Michael Jordan himself through some other sources. Check it. This era has some of the most skilled players we've ever seen, he reportedly told one NBC producer. It's time fans start appreciating that. He is said to have singled out not just LeBron, but also Curry, Jokic, Luka, and others as generational talents who deserve more than comparison games and straw man arguments. He told me, said the source, if I say it's okay to call these guys great, maybe my fans will listen. Maybe then they'll stop tearing the game down. Okay, a shocking rebuke. Some of Jordan's most loyal fans are already spinning the news as a victory lap for nostalgia, but they couldn't be more wrong. Mike told us flat out, said an associate close to the production, if hearing it from him is what it takes for these fans to stop disrespecting guys like LeBron, Steph, or even Harden, then so be it. He wants the game to move forward. So again, the great Michael Jeffrey Jordan says, if I say it's okay to call these guys great, then maybe my fans will listen. Even he knows y'all are stuck. Maybe y'all will listen now. That's MJ. MJ said that. Unstuck yourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Unstuck yourselves. You know, let these young bulls let them blaze their own trail. You know, let's get some new sound bites up in here. You know, some new sound bites. You hear me? Let's see. Last night, because we already know that the Timberwolves are going. So last night, the New York Knicks managed to push to a game 6. Good for them, man. Good for them. Good for them. I don't think they ever trailed at all in that game. And I was sure the Pacers was going to get them out of here. So next game is, there's no game tonight since the Western Conferences, since they already know who's going to the finals there. So there'll most likely be no game tonight. And then tomorrow there will be another game in Indiana. And we'll see what happens then. I got the Pacers winning this series. I tell you one thing, you Knicks fans are kind of quiet. Y'all kind of quiet. When y'all beat the Celtics, I get it. Because if you beat the Celtics, then, because, you know, the Celtics were the standard. The standard. You feel me? So to beat them says that, okay, all right, we're on some type of level. We're starting to crack the code. You know what I mean? Thing is, after y'all beat the Celtics, right, y'all start carrying on as if y'all won the chip. As if you had already won the chip. I'm gonna need to see y'all do better. No, it's dope that y'all pulled yourself out of a 3-1. It's 3-2. Let's see what's up, man. Get a banner, then I respect it. Dead ass. But good for y'all, man. Good for y'all. Hey, listen, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that I wouldn't be surprised if y'all took it out all the way out to 7 games. That'll be good for basketball. That'll be good. See, I'm a basketball purist in that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm more progressive. I ain't tripping about uniforms and the floor and, you know, the traditional shit people say. Man, let these motherfuckers let them be who they are, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'll take a game 7. I still got the Pacers winning. Good luck to both the Pacers and the Knicks. But it looks to me, I'm predicting, it looks to me there's going to be, and I've probably said this before, it looks to me that it's going to be OKC and the Pacers in the finals. So some people say they don't want to see that. I do. I want to see it all day. I want to see that. Yeah, man. And look, see, it's already starting to happen. So tonight there is no no game, right? So I'm saying that to say that the end is near. I say the end is near because, you know, once the finals get here, it won't be a game every night. That'll be gone. It'll just be a game every few nights. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. The end is near. The season is. I mean, I'm grateful for what's still here, but it's starting to. You know what I mean? The end is near. So, you know, yeah, man. Then we'll have the off season, but I'll still have some coverage. You know what I'm saying? We got the draft and trades and people going here, people going there. Then there's the big 3. You know, I like basketball, not just the NBA. Word. So yeah, man, how y'all liking the playoffs? What is your prediction? Either way, you gotta admit, kicking my kicking my platform. Either way, you gotta admit, playoffs is pretty dope. Word. And that's all I gotta say about that. I'ma holler at y'all soon about it. I'ma holler at y'all. By the time I get back on, it might already be the finals. Or maybe we're still going through this series with the Knicks and the Pacers. We'll see. But that's all I gotta say about that. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on, man. Celtics ain't in it. You know what I mean? And whoa. Before I go, shout out to Jaylen Brown. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. Right? Who says that this summer, this offseason, he ain't taking no extravagant, vacation or nothing like that. He said he's staying in Boston. He's staying in Boston. See, this young, and he's going to be in the gym. See, this brother knows that with Tay out, he's going to be the focal point until he gets back. Jaylen Brown's going to be the focal point. And he knows it's going to be up to him to lead the team. Certain folk may not be there next season. And it seems to me that he's preparing his mind to be a terror to the league next season. I'm excited about that. And that looks good on the young brother. I like that. Preparing for the moment. I respect it. Salute Jaylen Brown. Shout out to Jason Tatum. Hope he's, he had the surgery. Hope he's recovering well. And one more thing about Anthony Edwards, not giving the traditional sad, woe is me post-game interview after being eliminated. He also said something similar. He said that nobody outworked him in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? And I believe the young brother. Yeah, I may not necessarily like his words. They may not be Kobe-esque or Jordan-esque. But, see, last season, when they played the Mavericks and they got eliminated, I think he made mention that, he was part of the reason why they lost is because he was just winded. He was tired. It's fatigue. Comes back this season, and fatigue was not an issue. So apparently the young brother took it upon himself to condition himself. That was not an issue this season, right? So when he says nobody's going to work harder than me this offseason, I believe him. I believe he'll come back bigger and better next season and be more prepared for the things he was not prepared in this playoffs going against OKC. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I said it once, I say it again. I think it's time for these young bulls to start taking over some shit. I think it's time. And see, I can get over, not hearing the traditional sound bites that a lot of purists want to hear. I can get past that and see it for what it really is. You know what I'm saying? These are two, particularly Jaylen Brown and Anthony Edwards, these are two young players with some drive. Two young players with them dogs in them. You know what I mean? Blazing their own trail. And I respect that. I just wanted to say that. And now, that's all I got to say about that. Word.
But hey, it's
very. He cut my hair. So seriously, since like 8th grade, people don't understand. Like for most black men, your therapy is that 45-minute haircut.
Oh, absolutely, because that's somebody you trust. Well, black men is trust and respect.
Straight up.
With those things,
you usually respect your neighborhood barber that you and your homies, your brothers, everybody go to. And you know what I'm saying? It's damn near an intimate moment with y'all with the Clippers.
Not damn near, bro. That's intimacy.
Real talk. Yeah. I'm saying the loudness of the Clippers, nobody else could really hear y'all. You might have to say what you say to a motherfucker, but I'm like, it's literally a close-in conversation. They might be talking to you about anything. Like,
yeah, bro. It's funny because when we hear talk about men, we often hear that men don't have intimate relationships. And that's not necessarily bullshit. True.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It's just comparative to women.
Yeah.
I can see why you would say that, but our intimacy is more implicit. It's the long, what's up, bro? It's the, hey, get home, safe home.
This section is for the most part self-explanatory. Whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, Support your local barber. Not just support your local barber. Tip your local barber well. You know what I'm saying? We listen. We give counsel. And if your barber is a barber who's on his square and of a decently sound mind, it's a new term, new phrase. Decently sound mind. You know what I mean? Somebody who's not gonna blow smoke up your ass. Somebody who's gonna keep it honest and real and professional with you, and allow you space to open up and feel whatever it is you need to feel. Sounds a lot like a therapist, right? Although we are untrained professionals in the world of medicine and therapy and things of that nature, we are in fact therapists still. You understand? We hear things that you don't. And again, if your barber is decently of sound mind, again, he will give counsel. Now, I don't much give advice. That's me. However, I'm all for, just breaking you off with some wisdom. Like, what would I do in a particular situation? Would I or wouldn't I this, that, and the third? And give you and hopefully lead you to the path to figuring out some things for yourself. And not to mention, it is a bit of a therapy session for the barber as well. You know what I'm saying? You get an elder in your chair, and not necessarily an elder. Sometimes they'll say some things that'll hit home, with the barber. Like, oh man, bars. You know what I'm saying? So get with your local barber. Take in the experience, because yeah, man, that 45, 50-minute haircut is a therapy session. Your local barber is like your uncle, your big brother, your confidant, your therapist, a sounding board. Yeah, support your local barber, man. Word. All right, man. So before I get out of here, man, once again, I want to give a salute to everybody who, once again is dealing with things don't nobody else know about, but still showing up every day. Shout out to everybody who's doing the work. Shout out to everybody who's taking care of their body. You know what I mean? With their diet and the company they keep, and keeping their mind sharp. Words. Shout out to once again to Brother Ozell, man. So grateful that Brother Ozell is home with his family, and we just wish his family. We just wish everybody abundance and safety and all that good stuff, man. So yeah, man. Before I get out of here, man, thank you for your likes, subs, and your shares. Thank you for listening to me babble. It's been real, man. It's been real. Thank you for, just let me get my shit off. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for your loss. If you've lost a loved one, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to think if I forgot anything. And then shout out to you if you got a born day today. And once again, a happy belated Sister Betty Shabazz Day. Salute to the legacy of all those we've lost, those who don't make our timeline, those who the masses don't know, man. Word up. Y'all stay up, stay positive, stay grateful, and hey, listen, I would like to even encourage you every day when you know what I'm saying, when you open your eyes, when you open up them peepers, be grateful. Be grateful for where you are, even if it's not the most pleasant place for you right now. It could be worse. You may be thinking, shit, how much worse could it get? It could be worse. It could be worse. Be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful for what you got. You can't choose your family. You know what I mean? Just be grateful for what you got. Dead ass. So yeah, man, I'm out of stuff to say. Man. It's been real. Yeah, man. Y'all stay up. I'm the Gar Rashidi. This is Hoodies, man. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies.